watching Glitter Gel Pen.
A lifelong, one-sided conversation of us consuming every pop culture podcast ever. Glitter Gel Pen has joined the chat.
Enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to Glitter Gel Pen.
Episode 26. I'm Jill.
And I'm Melissa.
And before we get started, if you want to see Shane Dawson do jail time because he's a PDF file, click the subscribe button.
Can you say that about someone?
It's just if you want him to
Okay.
be jailed, you know?
Yeah, it's really relative. It's whatever you think.
Yeah. So Shane Dawson was on Katy Morton's podcast this week.
Yeah, did you listen to it?
I saw the clips.
Okay.
I didn't watch the full thing,
Yeah.
but I did see the clips.
It was okay. I haven't watched Shane Dawson in so long. I forgot what his humor, well, like his he has like a rhythm in which he tells jokes and things.
Okay, this sounds really bad because I do not like him, right? I don't like him. I don't watch his content. Ever since we did that deep dive, I'm like turned off from him fully.
Same.
But like,
There was a point in my life where I had unexplainable panic attacks. My anxiety had reached a level so high that I'd never seen before, and I had no idea what was going on. The only thing that gave me any relief was therapy. Therapy taught me coping mechanisms to handle these intense feelings of panic and anxiety. I now know how to handle it without becoming completely debilitated, and it really saved me. It allowed me a safe space to work through my thoughts and feelings that I had not yet come to terms with. That's why I'm so excited that this episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp is on a mission to making starting therapy easier. All you have to do is fill out a questionnaire and you will match with a therapist in as little as 48 hours. And if you decide you don't feel comfortable with the therapist you are matched with, you can easily switch until you find someone that makes you comfortable. BetterHelp finds greatly qualified therapists, and their customer support team is always there if you have any questions. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a service you can trust. If you're looking to try therapy, we've got a chance for you to save some money. You can go to betterhelp.com/glittergelpen or click the link in our description to get 10% off your first month. Now back to the show.
when I'm actively watching him, like when I'm watching these clips, I feel like he just mists me. Like I'm misted by him, you know?
Yeah.
Like I feel like everything that I think about him goes out the window, and somehow he consumes me and makes me think he's likable. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, because there were scenarios where he was like telling a story. It was actually like, I guess I thought about it more because I listened to Trisha talk about it too. And he was like saying that he had like reached out to a friend, and like the voice he uses when he's saying what he said to someone, I don't know how to explain it, but it sounds like the sweetest gay man.
And just the way he explains everything just sounds like everything's so innocent, and everything's like, I didn't mean anything by
Like
this. And,
he really doesn't ever mean to do any harm, but he's done so much. So I get exactly what you mean. Like I even like, since we did the deep dive, I feel the same. Like I've been like grossed out by him, but his jokes, like when I heard him like in a long form conversation on that podcast, I was like, God, I used to think he was so funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
So manipulative, maybe.
Yeah. I think for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were discussing like his cancellation. This is the first time he's ever addressed it in hindsight. And like I said, Trisha addressed when she knew Shane was talking about her. And manipulation at its best, he said that the cancellation was a gift. Because he needed some time off from work.
Stop it.
I swear. He was saying that like he was so deep like making these documentaries, like he did TanaCon, then he did Jake Paul, and he was so busy with all that like he didn't realize how much he was neglecting Rylan. And then the cancellation happened, and it like forced him to take a hiatus, and like then his marriage and everything improved.
Okay. Well,
they also spoke about the Jake Paul series that they did, because, you know, Katy was a big part of that, because she was like
she was the one that was diagnosing Jake as a sociopath, right? Yeah.
They were like diagnosing him before they went to his house. And then they'd go to his house and talk to him and be like, oh my God.
And isn't she like supposedly licensed or something?
She is, yeah.
Okay. So that was like weird for her to do.
Yeah, they did get permission to. Shane said in that interview that like they
had gotten permission to do a sociopath like documentary like with Jake Paul, and Jake Paul was like, yeah, I don't even know what that means. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just weird.
It is. Yeah. So I don't know what I think about him saying the cancellation was a gift. Right? Like,
no, I mean, he has learned nothing.
No.
And he did reference, he was like, I know that I made like some inappropriate jokes. And like, I guess that's what he's trying to pass the kids stuff off as, is like joking around. But he tried to argue why a like girl under 12 was sexy. Like, there's just no comedy in that.
No, there's not. I don't care what I don't care what he says. That's not a joke, and that wasn't funny. Like,
no, not at all. But all in all, like, it's like one of those things where you listen to the episode and you're like, I'm hearing him talk about this, but at the same time he said nothing. Mm-hmm. It's like Call Her Daddy, for example. Like, you think you're listening to something, but then at the end of it, there's nothing there.
It's like when it's like, okay, class, what did you learn today? And it's like
everybody's just quiet.
I feel that's what happens with people who, I don't know if it's really a term to people, but like how I said he mists me, like I get misted. Yeah. Like other people who are like that, that's kind of how I always leave conversations with people like that.
You feel misted?
No. Like when I feel misted.
Uh-huh. This is a new verb. Misted.
When I feel misted, I leave the conversation. It's like, okay, you sit there at the beginning, going into it, you're like, I don't like this person. Yeah. Then they feed you some BS. And
they're
you're
like humanized.
Yeah, and you're like misted, and you're like, okay, yeah. And then like they walk away, and you're like, wait, what? Like.
No, I know exactly what you mean.
And that's how it feels from seeing the clips of this podcast.
One thing that did happen that I'm so confused because I'm like, what the heck was in the video? But Adam McIntyre reacted to the Katy and Shane episode, and he deleted it. And I didn't. It was up for like a day because it kept popping up on my feed like a few times throughout the day.
We should have watched it because I saw it too and didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either, and I'm like, what the heck? He hasn't like posted anything about it. I need to check his Twitter to see if he's like made a statement. But like, I thought it was so weird that he deleted it because Adam like really stands on like what he does. Yeah. I kind of want to like check his Twitter before we move on. I was curious I was hoping that you had watched it.
I didn't. And that's like, I didn't even know I didn't realize that he deleted it. Like I was planning on watching it at some point.
Yeah, I went to watch it because like I had consumed it and I was like, okay, like I think I know how I feel about it. Then I heard Trisha talk about it, and like Oscar actually kind of said the same thing. He was like, oh, I kind of like thought he'd grown, but now you're giving like a whole different perspective on it. And Trisha was like, yeah, he's literally referring to me whenever he says they're not influencers though, blah, blah, blah. It's like Shane doesn't have any friends that aren't influencers. And I kind of felt the same way, like I had a different perspective on it. He hasn't tweeted anything about it, so.
He'll probably acknowledge it at some point. Like, I would imagine that even if he doesn't repost the video after taking out whatever he took it down for or something, he'll probably be like, you'll notice I took that down. Like, he kind of acknowledges things.
He's not one to, like, let something just get swept under the rug and ignore it.
Yeah.
I hope that we're that way. I hope we're the ones that, like, people can always count on to, like, address it head on.
Yeah. And we'll stand on it. And if we don't, we'll address it.
So. We'll address that we've changed our mind.
Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of Jake Paul, his brother and him have a new show called Paul American. I don't think either of us have watched it yet. No. But there is this clip that's came out from it that I find hilarious, but also, like, who put this in the edit? Have you seen this clip?
No.
Okay.
No.
Please watch it.
I want to come across like a woke asshole, but like, dude, women have it hard.
Oh, yeah, because isn't he like, what is it, like outwardly like Republican?
I'm sure. He like was all about Trump, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so he's I don't want to come off like I'm woke or anything.
But women have it hard.
Maybe we shouldn't be misogynists. Like,
like all he's trying to do is treat women equally. And he's like, I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, but Oh, I just thought that clip was so funny. And, like, he really thought he said something.
Yeah.
Like, the edit, they made it just so serious with the music.
Like, this intrigues me to watch the show now.
I know.
Because I'm
I
like,
know.
what?
And I'm like, did they do that on purpose? Because it's really funny, but, like, it's also, like, you're a dumbass.
Yeah. I think it's in the edit because that's just, like, how he is. And I don't think that the person, like, behind the camera was just sitting there and being like, maybe we should rephrase that.
I know,
right now.
like, they're like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Okay. So, moving right along, did you listen to Addison Rae's new song, Headphones On?
I didn't hear the song, but I saw her. Listen,
It's good.
I didn't hear the song yet. I'm sure I'll love it because I love all of her songs so far. But I did see the artwork for her album.
Okay. Yeah, she announced the album yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they gave, like, everybody's, like, comparing it to, like, the early 2000s.
It really is, like, pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Like, exact. Even, like, the font and
Yeah.
everything, which I really like. I like that she's kind of rebranding into this, like, Y2K, like,
Icon.
Britney brat, you know?
I don't know what it is. Like, I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't even believe that Addison Rae smokes cigarettes. But, like, she says, I need a cigarette to make me feel better. And I'm like, yeah, I really do.
Yeah, me too.
Like, there's just something, like, in her music. On the way home from here, you need to just, like, listen to it. Because it is, like, the first time I was like, okay. And then the second time I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, there's something in it. She's just, like, got a potion.
Is
that
it the
she
same
puts-
vibe as what she's been putting out?
Yeah, it's really similar to, not Diet Pepsi, the high fashion one. Which
Okay.
I like high fashion a lot.
Yeah.
But high fashion, Diet Pepsi, and Headphones On. Aquamarine is okay.
Yeah.
She did come out and perform that at Coachella last week. She also performed the second weekend of Coachella with Charlie.
I saw that. And they did her dirty. They did her really dirty.
You think the outfit?
No, I think the outfit was her doing.
Yeah.
But
She
they
gave
did
Minnie
her
Mouse.
dirty with putting no auto-tune in her mic.
Yeah, they did. They didn't.
Because that scream, okay, that's my favorite part of the song.
Me too.
Like, every time I wait for it and I'm like, ah, like,
I
ready.
feel like she didn't go for the note though. She just screamed.
Yeah, but I feel that if they would have had auto-tune on her mic, it would have at least resembled the song, you know?
To me, whenever I put a clip of it in here, it's almost like whenever she goes, okay, I want all of you to scream as loud as you can with me, okay? It's like the moment she says, okay, question mark, it loses that confidence. Because the thing about Addison Rae is, like, we've said it since she was on the cover of Rolling Stone for her future music that hasn't been released yet. Like, she has such a confidence about her that I just know she's a star. But whenever she's, like, on stage kind of sounding bad, her outfit might be her doing, but honestly, it wasn't good. Like, and then she's saying, okay, into the mic, it gives, like, lack of confidence. And Addison Rae can't exist without confidence.
No.
Because she has, and I don't mean this mean, but, like, she has nothing to stand on. Like, she's barely put music out.
No, she's literally the equivalent of us.
I know. Yeah, that's why we don't sit on this couch and talk like we're not famous
Yeah,
yet.
that's why we act like we have hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
And, like, we will actively tell people we're going to hang out with Jeff Whittick, knowing that we paid for meet and greet tickets.
Because, listen, Addison gets it. You got to live in delusion until it becomes what your fantasy is. You know what I mean?
I think that's why, like, I resonate with her music so much, because I'm like, what is she talking about? But I understand.
It's like, this one's really like the girls that get it.
Yeah.
You know?
But let's watch the first TikTok here.
All right, I need everyone to scream with me as loud as you can, okay? Can you do that for me? Let's go!
Y'all, it cracks me up that She is our future pop star. And she goes,
You know you want to live this life.
it's so bad.
It is. I swear though, like, because this song, it's so hype and like so just like jump around and be like,
I know.
They really did her a disservice by not putting auto-tune on that damn mic.
I know.
Because I feel like everything could have been saved if there was auto-tune on the mic. I mean, literally, like, Charlie wouldn't sound good on her music if there was no auto-tune on the mic. You
the
know?
Scream 2 could have been fine standalone without the auto-tune even because it's a Scream. Like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, yeah, having her, like, be, like, out of, like, obviously she's nervous. Like, I think that's where, like, the questioning of herself came in. Like, who wouldn't be nervous? Like, because the first time she performed at Coachella, she came out with Arca, or whatever the artist was that did a remix of Aquamarine. But this weekend she came out with Charlie, who is, like, totally different ball game of, like, a crowd. So, like, I feel like she was just nervous, but give her a hand.
Okay, what was the... Because it's giving to me... It's giving Paolo and the...
Sing to me, Paolo.
Yeah, it's giving Sing to me, Paolo. But, like...
Isabella.
Isabella. It's giving them two. Like, what if Addison thought that her and Charlie were friends this whole time, and then Charlie's like, we're gonna cut this bitch's auto-tune out.
She's like, just kidding, I hate you.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
She put at the end of the thing, Addison Rae's Summer, Lord Summer, and like kind of hinted at maybe a new era starting for her. I think she was just trying to put her friends on, in my opinion. But yeah, I love Addison. I'll be there no matter what she does, but I'm glad that I feel like Coachella didn't make as much noise with this second weekend because it was Easter and like...
Yeah, and also I do feel like it's always more crowded and more drama-filled the first weekend.
Yeah, because it's like, it's just the kickoff of it all. And it's the first time people do their sets, so it's like a bigger deal. But that was pretty much it for Addison. A little other Coachella drama is Revolve.
They didn't fully disclose that influencers were being paid to promote.
Either, I don't know if it was go to their event or just like use their clothes or whatever. But I guess some of the influencers could also get in trouble for that because you do have to put like hashtag ad or whatever.
Yeah.
Like on your post. I don't know that 50 million is like a reasonable amount. Because people were...
Who is it that's suing? Like,
I don't
who?
know. This girl was arguing. She was like, I might not have liked that if I would have known she was being paid to say it.
But it's like, okay, with Revolve though, I get it with like makeup and stuff, right? Because it matters the way that it feels and the way that it goes on and what kind of skin it's for and like what it does. With clothes, it's like whether someone's being paid or not, you know that you like that dress. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
you know that they passed a law in California that if you are gifted clothes by a company and like...
You have to claim it as income.
Yeah, and you have to pay taxes on it.
Yeah.
How would they know? How would they be able to track that for taxes? You know what I'm saying?
Well, because probably the company has to like keep track of their inventory
loss.
and knows
Yeah.
like, you know.
Yeah, I get that. But that's crazy to think about. And there was a story, I forgot to put it on here, but they did like, it might have been Revolve. They did a collaboration event with Pizza Slime, which is like a brand. It doesn't really matter. Their whole thing though is that they're like sarcastic about things. And this influencer like posted, I think it was last year at Coachella, because Revolve Fest always has drama. And the sign said like 1 million followers enter here, 1 million followers or less enter here. It was like 1 million up, 1 million less. But like they're always sarcastic, and if you would have followed either of the lines, you would see the lines join to go into the same door anyway.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a joke kind of, and
Yeah.
this influencer like posted it, and she was like, I'm leaving because of this sign. And she just, I don't know if she was joking as well, but like it got big news. So yeah, Revolve is that girl, I guess, as far as Coachella.
They had a big catastrophe happen with their like festival last year, I think.
Yeah,
right?
the last couple years, because their event got so big that people were like really dying to get out there. but it's actually kind of far from like Coachella Valley. So people were like waiting on shuttles. They said that they had.
Yeah.
But there were so many
And it
people.
was like Fire Festival, but like
in the
Revolve.
desert.
Yeah.
And the shuttles, like there weren't enough shuttles to move everyone. And then they would end up missing their sets at Coachella because they were stuck there. I don't know that I would like. I would really have to go with a brand and have a house and be staying at Coachella to go to Coachella.
Same. I'm telling you, it does not look fun to me. I'm not the kind of girly. I'm not for it.
Going camping in the
In
desert
100-something degree weather.
and then trying to look really good every day.
I was listening to Do We Know Them because Lily went to Coachella this year, and she was saying
Is she
that
the blonde one?
yeah, the other girl. She was saying that she would do some of her makeup and it would just be like wet from sweat. She would be like doing one layer and she'd have to go like take a break for a second, sit in their little like inflatable pool to try and cool down a little before she could even like put powder on after that, or
Oh my God.
because she was just sweating so insanely.
I think I'd have to go like just with eye makeup. I don't think I could even deal with the skin. Like that would bother me so bad.
I would never go unless like a brand paid for a hotel for me to stay in and paid for the tickets, because then I wouldn't feel bad also, because I'm not the kind of girly that's going to want to be there all day. Like in that heat, I will be over it in 2 hours.
No, the good influencers, they'll have a pool to hang out at all day and then they go to the concerts late at night.
Yeah, that would be my vibe. And the only reason I would go with a brand that paid for me to go and stay in a hotel is so that I wouldn't feel bad when it got to that point and I was like, you want to go back to the hotel? Because I'm over it.
Yeah.
You know, and I wouldn't feel like I wasted $1,400.
And then like you've been there all day, you're walking around all day and you're waiting to get out of there because everybody leaves after the big headliner and you just want to go home.
Yeah, no, it's not for me. I don't even, like, my sister's really into, you know, EDM and, like, music festivals and stuff, and she's always like, come with me, it'll be so fun. And I'm like, you don't understand. Like, I will have fun with you for about 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then it will not be fun anymore.
No.
And I won't be fun to be around because I want to go home. Like, and I know that about myself, so.
I did the country music festival and that was okay. We wouldn't go until later on in the night because it's just so hot, and and
it wasn't like one of the country music festival wasn't like a camping kind of a festival, you know.
People do, but I didn't, and it's just, I don't know. I'm just not a festival gal. I'll go to a concert and go home and have a great time.
Yeah, no, I love to go to a concert. One singular concert, fun time.
Yeah.
Multiple in a day, in 100-degree weather, not so fun.
No.
But hey, if you're a brand and you want to send us next year,
We'll be happy to go.
yeah, we will.
We won't complain at all.
No,
Publicly.
we'll say we love it. So. Well, I mean, speaking of concerts and shows, you know, Trisha had her show that Mikayla Nogueira was going to go to. And wow, wouldn't you be shocked to know that she didn't show up?
Yeah, she posted, you know, all the drama from 2 weeks ago where she was like, Trisha talked bad about me and now I don't know if I want to go to her show, which our theory was that we don't think she even had tickets because who could imagine her in general admission? And Trisha did her like hot topics this week and was like, yeah, so Mikayla didn't show up in Boston. I don't even know if she had tickets. And she even was like, I can't imagine her like in GA at a YouTube show.
How was your Boston show, though? Did you have a special guest?
No, I mean, look. Yeah, people have made TikToks looking for Mikayla. I wonder what she did with her tickets. She sell them? She resold them?
Depends, you know.
She had the tickets.
That's a conspiracy.
I mean, I don't think. Look, I'm the first person to ghost someone, so I do not care. She gave me her number. I texted. Nothing.
Okay.
That's fine. I ghost people. Done it so many times. Probably will do it again. So I don't care. I was a little sad. I was a little sad because there was no special guest. My friend Jeff came. Thanksgiving 2 is coming. I didn't even tell you this. He did say that I could be in Thanksgiving 2. That I got the green light. We'll see. He said it's shooting in the fall, so I was like, well, let's hope that happens. Because he brought his friends' kids, and they were very sweet. And then I was like, yep, well, just my bestie for 18 years, but can't put me in his movie. He said, no, Thanksgiving too, you're in it. I was like, all right, great. But he was there, and then I had one other special guest on the list that was going to come. And I told her, I'm like, we'll get you in VIP, back door, whatever. But yeah, I didn't get a follow-up, but I think she went to Nevada with Cody, so maybe she was
makes sense.
busy.
Yeah.
People were looking for her. Everyone did ask me at the meet and greet, whereas Mikayla's a superstar. What can I say? She's a busy girl. Didn't show up. Hopefully she resold the tickets if she had them. Let's get some
Get her money back.
I just can't imagine her going GA anywhere. But maybe she would. Maybe she's humble queen.
And Trisha had texted her about coming to the show to get information, and like Mikayla never responded. Like that whole situation was for attention.
It was for sure.
I know that she's like not saying Mikayla hasn't gone through some stuff with her. Is it her husband?
Yeah.
Not saying she hasn't gone through stuff with that, but like
that was real. But like her getting mad at Trisha and like making a thing and being like, yeah, I had tickets to her show, but like now I don't know if I want to go. Like that was her just searching for clout and searching for people to make like a thing and be like, no, like she needs to apologize and whatever. And I'm like, it's just so stupid. She's stupid. I don't really like Mikayla.
The accent, I can't take it. Like I know that she's dramatizing it and whatever, but I can't take it. And maybe she'll hear my accent and not like it, but like I just can't get down with the way that she sounds.
Yeah, I'm sure she was like, I'm not going to Trisha's show.
Yeah.
It's always so hostile to me.
I know.
Like she could be saying the nicest thing ever and it would sound like she wanted to scream in your face and fight.
Yeah.
Like she'd be like, let's go run in the daisies. Like hold my hand into the sunset. I can't.
You get this face when you do her impression and you look angry. I mean, you look even if you're smiling, if you're making that sound, you sound pissed off.
Anybody else watching or listening right now, try to talk like Mikayla Nogueira and not make a face like you're pissed off. I don't think it's possible. I don't even know who this next person is.
You're a lucky gal.
Okay.
Ava Louise is, maybe she's changed. Maybe she's grown up. She's now big on OnlyFans. Okay?
Okay.
Were you like in the, like when the TikTokers all blew up and we had like this new wave of like young people coming in and they were the new influencers. You had like Addison Rae, Charlie D'Amelio.
Mm-hmm.
You had
Was Ava a part of that?
Sort of. But what I remember Ava Louise for was whenever, did you follow the drama with Addison's parents?
Yeah, I know that I did, but I can't recall exactly what it was like right now.
She, had blown up. They were doing some videos together. She had a little brother. Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, her parents split up. And her dad became a DJ, and her mom was like doing this public stunt with Young Gravy.
Yeah, I remember the Young Gravy situation.
And for a minute, it was funny. Like, I think in the David Dobrik deep dive, there was that video of David being like, telling Addison he was hooking up with her mom.
Yeah.
It was funny for a second, but then Addison started dating the music producer who she's still with. He is really big with like Blink-182, Travis Barker, MGK, like that group of people. Mm-hmm. And Wilmer. Is his name Wilmer?
Wilmer Valderrama?
No. That's the guy from Demi Lovato.
He's the only Wilmer I know that has
Will.
Famous.
He has a weird name like that, but he has like red hair. He's really cool, but they're never publicly together because I think it's bad for her image. But like, I love their relationship. Anyway, Addison has started dating this really successful producer. She's like starting to get more mysterious and not posting on TikTok because she's on her way to becoming Addison, who we know now today. Well, during all this, her parents had the falling out. Her mom is like walking a red carpet with Young Gravy, who's like known for like banging moms and grandmas, like embarrassing as hell. And like she kissed him on the red carpet. Well, Ava Louise, who is Addison's age, if I am correct, and again, this is just what I remember. I didn't look into any of this, but Ava Louise is all up on Addison's dad's TikTok, like with him And, like, this situation was embarrassing for Addison. They were, like, publicly, like, going back and forth, making TikToks. Like, Addison's dad was threatening to fight Young Gravy on TikTok. Like, it was rough. Like, I really felt bad for her. Well, Ava is also known for lying. Like, she got famous for her lore stories, but they were not real. She would literally make up the craziest things about people and post a video as if it really happened, and it would start all this drama. And, like, she was just really at her peak hate whenever, like, BFF started. That's how I learned who she was. Anyway, Jeffree Star tweeted because Kanye released this is so webby. Like, Jeffree Star tweeted, "Fuck it, the rumors are true," because Kanye released a song about somebody having sex with somebody's cousin.
Yeah, he said something about he had sex with his cousin or something.
Yeah. And Ava Louise, years ago, started a rumor on TikTok that Jeffree Star and Kanye West hooked up. I think it came from the fact that they both live in Wyoming and they're, like, basically neighbors because they have so much property. They're really close to each other, but also, like, far apart. But there were rumors that, like, Kanye West had hooked up with some male YouTube makeup guru, and, like, Jeffree Star's right there. So
Yeah. I remember that.
yeah. Well, Ava Louise is where this rumor started. And this TikTok is Ava acknowledging the drama.
I literally got canceled in 2021 for starting the Kanye West Jeffree Star rumor. I literally heard that this rumor was true. I was told by multiple people that Kanye West was hooking up with beauty gurus. I went out, I put it on the internet. Next thing I know, I'm getting threatened with lawsuits, everyone telling me to retract my statement. So I come on the internet and I say, haha, made it all up because I'm being threatened by very powerful people. I had Kris Jenner going to TMZ saying she was going to sue me. Imagine being 22 years old, seeing a TMZ headline that Kris Jenner was going to sue you. I had to go through all of that, only for Jeffree Star to come out in 2025 and say, F it, the rumors were true. I got my reputation ruined, I lost brand deals. I went through the most anxiety I ever had in my life, only for Jeffree Star to say it's true in 2025. I deserve an apology.
No, absolutely. Ava Louise has made her bed. Completely take the Jeffree Star stuff out of it. She needs to lie in it. Because, like, she started rumors. And my whole thing is, don't go on the internet and expose information that you don't know. If somebody just told you something, do you think I'd go on the internet and be like, guys, this is truth? And you can't be sued for spreading misinformation if you're telling the truth, bitch.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, why would she be afraid to be sued by Kris Jenner if what she's saying is true and she knows it?
No, well, that's what she's saying. She's saying that she was telling the truth back then and that they threatened to sue her, so she kept quiet. And now Jeffree Star is coming out and saying that it was true, meaning that all of that, them threatening to sue her back then and stuff, was pointless because she was telling the truth and she knew it. And they, like, you get what I'm saying?
I get that. I also am like, this tweet said nothing at the end of the day. It didn't say what rumor. Think about all the Jeffree Star rumors.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. That was my, like, thought, was just that, like, how do we know that that's what we're talking about right now? I don't.
Well, Ava Louise can take a statement about a flower in a field and make it about herself. And I feel like that's what's happening, and she's, like, just trying to get people talking about her again. I haven't heard her name in years, and I'm not a fan. I think that she
seems, from what I'm hearing, again, like I said, I didn't know who she was till right now. She seems clout chasey.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm sure that's why she makes anything about herself, is so that she can try and stay relevant to the best of her ability.
She's been doing it so long that people don't remember that that's how she got big and, like, famous, from, like, telling lies and, like, causing drama. And I just put on there that she, like, gives me Brecky Hill vibes because, like, Brecky Hill also got famous for literally copying Livy Dunn. Yeah. She got famous for copying her, and it's like, she kind of, like, what's the word? Caused so much drama, but, like, for Brecky and, like, for Livy or whatever. She caused all this drama, and then, like, then she's famous, and now everybody looks up to her because they forgot how she got famous. And it's like, no, I know they were young whenever they started, but it's like, Y'all just remember where you came from and don't, like, be a victim to Jeffree Star tweeting. The rumors are true.
Yeah. Also, though, it is interesting how in that she talks about whenever she came out with that rumor that, like, Jeffree Star was, like, coming at her, like, saying, like, how she was like, I was being threatened by powerful people. It's like, that's a running thing with Jeffree Star that people say happens, you know? So, I mean, I believe, like, that is truth. But it is, like, a far stretch to have seen Jeffree's tweet being like, the rumors are true, and assume that that's what they're talking about. And so then you make this TikTok.
Yeah. I don't think that it's true. I think that Jeffree liked the fact that it became a rumor, and I think that he threatened to do, like, legal action to bring more attention to it in a way, like, in my, like, it, like, made it more news because he was, like, threatening all of this stuff. And, like, even him tweeting in 2025 that the rumors are true whenever Kanye drops this song, again, it's back to, like, Jeffree Star trying to be relevant.
Yeah.
And we're talking about him.
We are. Hate you, Jeffree Star. I'm not deep into Jake Weber and TaraYummy, but I see all of their stuff on TikTok.
I do too.
And I watch it.
That's exactly where I'm at.
Yeah.
I like her, but, like, I remember I learned about her from BFFs whenever she went on, because they had broken up and then she blew up, like, a little while later. I really like her. Like, I think that she's so cute and just, like, she's just one of the prettiest influencers to me, too.
She is. It took me a while to realize, though, that her and Jake had previously dated and were not still dating.
Yeah.
Took me a while to realize that. I had to read a lot of comments of people being like, I would not be okay with this if I was so-and-so. And I was like, who's so-and-so? Took me a lot of comments to finally be like, who is that? And then I realized that he had a girlfriend, and it was not Tara.
Yeah. This is a TikTok of them at Coachella.
I always think this is weird. Like, when I'm seeing all the TikToks of them and stuff, like, because I've also seen something where people have said that there was a time where Tara said she didn't think she would ever be, like, a relationship kind of girl unless it was with Jake.
Really. I also don't think I'm much of a relationship kind of person. I think the only person I was a relationship kind of person was with my ex. I don't see myself being in a relationship. I'm, like, I've always been, like, pretty independent and, like,
You that confident that you've always been.
Yeah, and I think I truly, I never saw myself in a full relationship unless it was with him, so.
And, like, I just feel that there has to be some feelings, at least on her end, like, still there. And so, therefore, it just doesn't sit right for her to be, like, hanging out with him all the time. And he shouldn't be doing it either. Like, but it's just, like, it feels like one of those girls that's kind of after your man, you know? Like, if I was the girlfriend, I would not be okay.
No. And they've been, like, they never stopped hanging out after they split, from what I understand. And, like, there are even, like, videos of them, like, realizing, like, that Tara's hooking up with someone, but they're, like, in the car together, like, talking about it. And it is really weird. And the ongoing thing that I see people saying on TikTok is, like, people feeling so bad for her, like, hearing things in the way that she talks about Jake, but, like, they're not together. And one theory is that their breakup wasn't, like, as mutual as, like, they put it out to be. And, like, maybe he just said something along the lines of, like, I'll never, like, you know, quit being around you. And, like, he's just trying to hold on to that. But I think their scenario is so interesting. It also gives them lore.
They could be playing into it a little bit.
I think they are, because honestly, like, other than Tara's videos being cute and, like, me liking them, I would not care about this at all. Like, I just wouldn't even be thinking about, like, the two of them communicating with each other. But, like, they've made it such a weird thing, like, in their videos and everything, that I don't know. Do you know who Carrington is?
No.
Look him up. I think he is the most beautiful person. He is absolutely beautiful.
Kind of looks like Landon Barker.
Yeah, I could see that. I just like, he pops up on my TikTok a lot, and like, I don't swipe away. I don't even know how old he is. How old is he?
Who is Jake's girlfriend, though? And do we know how she feels or what she has said about their relationship?
I don't know. I don't know who her girlfriend is. We should research that and like follow up on this next week, because it would be interesting to look into. There is like a lot of conspiracies about like Jake and Tara and like the girlfriend and even Carrington. There's been like drama with all of them. So it would be kind of like a fun little like mini, like we could just do it in like a Hot Topics episode if it's slow.
Yeah.
And like do a deep dive into it, because I'm on the brink of knowing it, and like I feel like if I knew the lore, I'd be real into it.
Mm-hmm. I'm right at the precipice, and I need somebody to push me off the cliff. You know?
Like if we get nudged a little bit, we'll be like super stands.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it, I think, because I don't know enough information, but I'm curious. Do you know what's going on with James Charles, Caleb Malik, Evan Johnson, and Zachary Sellers? I don't even know who these people are.
I saw that, not Dustin Daly, but the
His
other
boyfriend?
Yeah, posted something
okay.
about it today.
I'll give you like a brief summary. I'm going to introduce some characters. Do you know who Kayla Malik is? She's like young influencer, a lot of face piercing. She's been on Just Trish. So Kayla dated a guy named Evan Johnson. Evan Johnson's best friend is a guy named Zach. And that's all the characters.
Okay.
Okay, so Kayla,
Evan, Zach, and James.
Yes.
Okay.
So Kayla is a popular influencer. She came forward to share her experience with Evan Johnson for domestic violence. There were months of abuse, and it was really, really bad from the stories that she told. She did 2-hour videos breaking it all down, just trying to like share the story to be like, you know, if I would have had somebody make this video, I might not have like feared for my life. Like she said, there were multiple moments where she like didn't know she was going to make it out of the situation. Well, he was arrested and released on bail pretty quickly. He hasn't been through a trial yet. The charges have just been pressed at this point. She does have a lot of like physical evidence, photos and stuff that I think that she might have put in her videos. I did not watch her videos. And I also want to know, like they've said it on other podcasts that they've covered this, like I'm not trying to make her story news or like gossip, because it's like whatever, leave it there. So Kayla and James were friends and they collabed, and there were texts between Kayla and James where she told him that they broke up, and James even like jokingly responded, "Can I have him?" Mm-hmm. And you know James' type is
men that don't like men.
And they're young boys.
Yeah.
So Evan is 20 years old. I will say James Charles is 25, right? He's not, I thought he was older, to be fair.
Yeah. I
He's
mean,
been
maybe a couple
around
years older,
for a minute.
but yeah. So Evan is 20 and James is 25. Mm-hmm. That's not bad to me.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
It's not even like homie is freshly 18. It's like he's a 20-year-old, you know?
Yeah. So in February, James flew Evan out to LA, housed him, and gave him advice on how to handle the cancellation before Kayla's videos exposing him came out in April. So Evan knew that she was gonna expose and like tell the story, and James comforted him and
basically told him how to do damage control.
Yeah, and his advice was like to be quiet and like let it blow over, which is ironic. So Zach Sellers, who was good friends with Evan, he also knew James through all of them, and Evan had been texting and communicating with Zach about everything happening like while Evan was with James Charles. Like he was telling him that he was staying at his house, that he was talking through the cancellation. Like he knew what was going on, but at this point, Zach hadn't heard Kayla's side of the story. So whenever Kayla came out with her video, and after he heard her story, he realized that he had also been manipulated by Evan, and then he immediately posted a long TikTok explaining everything he saw, and that he basically validated everything that Kayla said, and said that he was like really good friends with Evan during this time, and he's the one who's kind of exposed James Charles because he saw the text between him and James because these two guys are like best buddies, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So James Charles is being completely silent during all of this. And Kayla did confirm with a statement on Just Trish that all of the statements made by Zach and other people speaking on her behalf are true. But she can only say so much because she's in a lawsuit to go to trial over these charges.
What texts came out?
It was basically the ones between Evan and James. They are not released, but it was Zach Sellers. He read all the text messages as they were happening. So, like, he knew what was really going on.
So he knew that James was helping him do damage control.
Yeah. And probably actively trying to sleep with him, even though he's potentially like a straight guy who dated someone who was supposedly James' friend. Like, you don't text someone that you broke up with someone that you don't trust.
Yeah. And, I mean, James is grimy anyways for this, no matter what, just because, like, it's just crazy. I mean, if you had a boyfriend and he abused you and you guys broke up, I wouldn't be like hanging out with him like that
and consoling him and like,
yeah, like you would be the one that I would need to be consoling if I found out that you were being abused. You know?
It says something that like Evan's best friend is Zach, and like the moment Zach knew what was going on, he was like, "I'm not your friend anymore." Like that. You know, this is like a scenario where what he's done is so bad, like he could have killed her.
Yeah.
So James, like I said, is continuing to just like be quiet during the situation, which is ironic because he's giving him the advice to just let it all blow over.
So we know that that's his solution for damage control is to just be quiet, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah. And he does have some new products out with a brand or something. So like, it's like the moment James Charles gets any bit of grace, something else like comes out about him. The irony in like, we didn't have a podcast the last time that James had some young guys calling him out, but I tried to follow the story a little bit, and it's the same narrative of like a different group of young boys like exposing TikToks of James. Like, I swear in the last 2 years there was another scenario where James was being called out by young boys on TikTok, and like, you've got to age out a little bit of like the young straight boys because they're going to either use you. There was a scenario where like some young guys were like pretending to be gay to try to get James interested.
I remember that. Yeah. And he like even went to James's like house or something.
Yeah, and that's
or hotel, whatever.
That's not fair. And then like they like just screen recorded everything, just posted everything, and it's like, that sucks. But like, again, we're back on TikTok with the young boys, and I just...
You live and you learn, but not James Charles.
Nope.
He doesn't.
No. He posted an Instagram story yesterday. I screenshotted this today, and it reads, "Shout out to the girls that just screamed, 'Leave James alone,' from their car window while I was getting paparazzi'd. Ha 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 ha. Y'all are so real for that. Don't worry."
So you're not going to like acknowledge anything except for when people support you.
Yeah.
You know?
This is a scenario where like you do need to say something. It's like a really serious, like there's legal things involved, and like you were protecting someone who has done really
abuser.
Really harmful things to women in your life.
But I guess, you know, abusers protect abusers though, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
So that's probably like they're like, nobody else has our backs, so we're gonna have each other's.
Yeah, like there's like a sense of understanding too, to where it's like
of a weird understanding. But
yeah, like he's like, I know how it feels to make a mistake and it be like held against you, and it's like doing that multiple times to a woman is not a mistake.
Also, like, I mean, beating a woman is not really like a mistake, you know?
No.
It's like you meant to do that.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so last week on Just Trish, she was going in on the fact that Green Day was headlining. She was on the side of TikTok that was saying that like Charlie XCX should have been headliner. You have Charlie wearing this banner that was obviously a joke.
Yeah. Yes. The Miss, what did it say? Like, Miss should have been headliner or something like that. Yeah. It's like, can we not take a joke these days? It's not that serious.
Yeah. And it even like Green Day was like making jokes about it. Like he wore like a brat hat, and then the other guy, like their drummer, wore a banner that said actual headliner. Like, that's funny.
Yeah.
And Trisha just like went out of her way to be like, if you're in your 50s or older, you probably shouldn't be on stage at Coachella. Like, let the young people like have their moment. And it's like, I just know that in 15 years when Trisha is 50, she's going to be saying something completely different.
Yes, she's going to be like, yeah, we can do anything at 50.
And it's like, Green Day was the first band I ever loved. Like, they're so relevant and like still like with it. And they're also like one of the only bands that have stuck around and stayed relevant that are not afraid to like speak out against politics and like, you know, a lot of different things. Well, this week on Just Trish, she got a lot of hate in her comments for saying that about Green Day. Well, now she's a stan. It drives me crazy.
Trisha is the queen of can't stand on anything. Like, ever. She says something and people have a problem with it, she changes her opinion every time. It never fails.
And Oscar was even like, I can't believe you like are going back on what you said like last week. Like, the comments didn't agree with her, so Trisha's changing and she's like citing lyrics from American Idiot and all of these songs. And I'm just like, so you knew all this stuff about them last week, but you're pretending like you don't understand the relevance in them being a headliner and Charlie XCX not being?
I can't deal. Trisha really gets on my nerves with that kind of stuff. Like,
I know.
Like, it makes her seem so inauthentic.
I know.
And it's like, I don't even know if any of your likes that you talk about ever are authentic, or are they just like, you think that people want to hear this, so you're saying this.
Yeah.
Which I think is the case.
No, I agree. Because it's like, it goes back to the Brooke Schofield thing. Like, if you're so afraid of like being canceled that you don't have an opinion, like, why would anybody listen to you talk about anything? Because at the end of the day, like, she's not saying anything. And I get it, like, she doesn't have a good memory, like, she forgets stuff or whatever. Like, honestly, I feel like I do too. Like, I can watch a show and I won't remember what it's about, and I can watch it next week and be just as surprised. I understand, like, having some forgetful tendencies or whatever, but, like, that isn't an excuse to be a liar.
It's too people-pleasy for me.
Yeah.
I don't jig with the people-pleasing all the time. You know? Like, and that's what this is. It's like she's only saying things, not even just like this Green Day scenario, but just like everything, just from listening to Just Trish through the time that it's been a thing. It's just always like she's talking about the popular opinion that everybody else has, and she's saying the same thing and echoing the same thing, and she never has her own different take or different opinion. It's always the popular opinion, you know? And when she says something that wasn't the popular opinion, that she didn't realize wasn't the popular opinion, and gets backlash for it, she changes it to the popular opinion. It's never her thoughts.
Yeah, it's like you could say anything to her and she's going to agree with you if you're in the same room as her.
Yeah.
And another like thing kind of along the same lines is Moses issued an apology to Benson Boone, because also in that same episode, it was actually a really funny moment. Like, Moses was talking, they're talking about Benson Boone, and then Moses just chimes in out of nowhere and he's like, he needs to be stopped.
It kind of brings me to the next hot topic.
Wait, before we switch on it though, but even when Benson Boone did his little flip off the piano,
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
He needs to be stopped.
Oh, was that your next
Yes.
What a transition.
And it's because he's like flipping a lot.
He's backflipping off of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like flipping off stage and everything. And it was honestly really funny and like authentic. But then you have this moment where, like, I guess Benson Boone came out and he was like, you don't even know what my music sounds like. You've only ever heard that one song, like, for all these people that hate on me or whatever. Well, Moses took it really, really personally and like issued an apology and was like, we don't like hate on your music. And like he like went out of his way to like explain how sorry he was. And
Okay, but my theory is that Trisha probably told him to do that. Trisha, in her people-pleasing ways, didn't want something like that, even thinking that Benson Boone was talking about something from her podcast and calling it out.
She was like, liked by the gays.
Yeah, she's like, honey, apologize now.
Yeah.
And so Moses did.
Well, she often will comment on how she will hear Moses say things in front of people and she like freaks out. because she's like so paranoid. And she was saying like she always thinks and talks and acts in front of people as if she's always being recorded. And it's like, what are you so afraid to say that's going to get caught on camera?
Yeah, like, are we... Listen, I like Trisha Paytas, okay? But are we... if we're worried constantly that we're being recorded and we're having to watch everything that we say because we think we're being recorded, are we really a good person?
Yeah. In the same episode, she is talking positively about how she would reunite with Shane Dawson. Like, I cannot fathom like
having children and thinking that I was gonna go be friends with Shane Dawson.
Like, everybody just thinks he made a few racist jokes.
That's not it. Because he's so good at sweeping everything under the rug. Go watch our deep dive. It's way more than that. He has a PDF file. I can't deal with this man.
It is weird. Like, he literally has that episode, like, he tried to argue, like, why it's okay that he feels that way.
He literally said, no, listen, this is my justification for pedophilia.
Here's my justification for pedophilia.
I can't. That literally came out of his mouth, okay?
It's not funny, but it is.
It's funny because it's so absurd that we forget about it.
Yeah. I have a theory about Moses, and I don't know if I thought of it or if this girl that I was talking to one time told me it, and I thought that I thought of it regardless. I remember her talking about Moses, and she was like, I don't trust him. And I was like, we had just recorded the deep dive whenever I met her, and I was like, you should watch the video we made, because I didn't know that Moses has anything like in his past. Well, this girl's theory, I think, was that she thought Moses was using Trisha for fame and everything, right? Because he's an artist, and like now he's like, even though like his art is probably really expensive, Trisha probably has, 200 or 300 fans that could afford some fine art and like really expensive things that he would sell. Well, he like keeps up her life and like keeps the kids while she goes and does her thing. And I don't know if you've noticed, but like on the podcast, he started really paying attention to hot topics and chiming in. Like the last 3 weeks, Moses has been like as involved in the conversations and topics as like Oscar is.
Mm-hmm.
And I met her probably like a month ago, and ever since I did, I've been just paying more attention to how he acts and things. And I'm like, is he trying to, I don't know, he's just always been like a background character of the podcast, and now he's like got opinions, and I can tell it gets on Trisha's nerves when he speaks on there.
Yeah.
I know that people are like, she tries to play it off like, people always comment that I'm so mean to you. It's like, you can tell the vibe when Oscar talks and Moses talks and what the difference is.
So your theory is that he's trying to be more relevant on the podcast
to build up a personal brand.
Yeah, maybe he's like kind of thinking like, I got to secure the bag for if she leaves me.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to become more of a personality and people will like him.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to break it to you, but do you see what happened to Jason Nash?
Yeah.
It's probably not going to happen, buddy. So you might want to keep, taking care of your kids for her.
Yeah. And my whole thing is like, I know like the Vlog Squad painted Trisha as like a crazy girl or whatever, but she really is the kind of content creator that you don't want to hate you, in a sense of like having dirt on you or having like had a really like long-term personal relationship with her, because like
she will spill it.
You don't know how she would interpret something that could be perceived as like normal, because she doesn't remember how things go exactly. This is going to sound a certain way, but she's really good at using like a mental illness that she just realized she has, or a drug problem that is, she pulls it out when it's a convenient card to pull.
Yeah.
Not that I don't love Trisha and am a fan, but
I'm sure people are so confused by us because we are critical though. Like we are critical. We are critical of Taylor Swift. Okay. Like we love Taylor Swift,
but we're allowed to critique Trisha Paytas.
Yes. So,
and someone has to say it. Like, we can't all be going, yes, queen, like sing to us that sounds bad on Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
Like, someone's got to say something.
Yeah. She's surrounded by yes men
Literally.
and yes fans, and we're the fans that are going to say something.
It's like her fans, the ongoing joke is that she could do anything and they'll go crazy. And it's like, that's not how it should be.
No.
Because you've got Trisha judging people for flying on a private jet to live a life. And then, like, she's flying on a private jet so that she can go to a resort with her sister. And it's like...
Same thing, yeah. But I just think that, you know, Moses just needs to keep doing mommy duty so that he can secure the bag.
And I don't mean it mean, but, like, Moses needs to, like, be quiet. Something rubs me the wrong way whenever he chimes in. And I don't know what it is, but, like, now that girl's pointed it out to me, I'm really like, oh my God, she's so right.
It's like, no, this isn't your thing. Shut up.
It isn't.
Like, yeah.
He's there for technical difficulties and chiming in with, like, knowledgeable stuff. Like, whenever they don't know about space and he knows something about space, chime in, Moses.
Yeah. Say, like, the velocity of this helicopter in the sky is this. You know, don't say, like, yeah, I think Benson Boone does too many backflips.
Yeah. You let Benson Boone flip. So, speaking of expensive air travel...
We're back on Katy Perry this week.
We are, only because I don't want to talk about how stupid their space mission was. I am in absolute shock that this Daily Mail article, what the article says. Because I was listening to some podcasts and I was looking into it. Well, the article reads, she made history as the first pop star in space on the first ever female flight from Earth, and I just immediately thought of Xenon Z3.
Yes. Protozoa, put some respect on his name.
So, from the day that we're recording this, Katy Perry's tour started last night in Mexico, and Perry was facing a worrying lack of sales with rows of seating still available at multiple venues, according to the official seat maps on Ticketmaster.
Speaking of the concert, while we're like on that though, have you seen any clips from her show?
I've only read about what was going on, but I haven't seen anything.
There was this clip, okay? She's like fighting something or other, and it's just doing too much, like all around, but it's almost as if she's not really giving anything. So it's like everybody, all the comments were like, she's doing too much while simultaneously doing not enough. And it really was giving that. And if I can find that, I'm going to put it on the screen right here because it was actually funny how much she wasn't giving.
Yeah, I haven't seen the videos, but I did hear that there's like some space simulations involved in the show, like anti-gravity looking something, which I thought was funny. This is more of the article, and this is about to shake you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Insiders claim that she hoped to emulate the success Taylor Swift achieved with her record-breaking Eras tour. But there are fears Perry's place on Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin flight has scuppered, I don't even know what that word is, her chances of securing last-minute sales.
Katy, okay? Let me hold your hand when I tell you this.
What?
Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin is not the reason that you're not selling out like Taylor Swift's Eras tour, baby. Okay?
No one can do that. Literally no one can do that. So
I think it's because maybe you haven't had an actual banger in 10 years, okay?
And you work with Dr. Luke on Woman's World.
Yes.
This is, I'm going to keep reading the quote. I mean, I cannot believe she really thought. There were already concerns about poor ticket sales even before Blue Origin. They were pretty dismissal. Katy truly believed her tour would take off like Taylor's. Y'all, there is no way she thought.
Like, I think, honestly, okay, talking about Addison Rae living in delusion, I think that Katy Perry is living in even more delusion than us or Addison Rae.
Yeah.
Thinking that she was going to outsell the Eras tour.
And I'm like, did she not see the reaction before 143 came out? And she did what was the award show where she did like the big performance?
The VMAs, maybe?
Yeah. The reaction to that was not. Like, if Taylor Swift did that, America would sit down. Mm-hmm. And America didn't blink when Katy Perry went on stage.
She did do it on the second day of her period, though.
Facts. But, like, the best part of that wasn't Doechii in that performance.
She was, because we didn't know at the time. We were like, who is that?
Yeah, but that was the best part of the performance.
Yeah.
And that was when I was like, oh, okay, this is okay. But, like, the outfit, nothing was giving in that moment. So it's like, what did you think was going to happen? An inside source told Daily Mail that she had regrets about making a public spectacle out of the trip, which she reportedly thought would be good PR for her tour. She kind of addressed the situation on stage in Mexico, saying, has anyone ever called you crazy for your dreams?
Oh my God.
You're killing our atmosphere.
And it's saying, like, hey, little kids, did you know that if you are filthy rich, you can do anything you want? Like, it's not like saying, like, you can be an astronaut if you work hard. It's like, if you're filthy rich, like, you can go to space.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can fulfill your dreams if you have all the money in the world. Like, duh.
One last quote. This cracks me up. She was convinced her album would be a hit, but it didn't resonate with her fans. She wanted to do an album her way and use Dr. Luke, which was not a wise decision. Then she agreed to do the space flight, thinking that it would be good PR for her tour, but it backfired.
She needs to fire whoever's making these decisions. Like we said, somebody hates her on her team.
For them to put that quote in the article that her source like leaked information to try to get like some better publicity out there.
It's the source that actually scheduled the session with Dr. Luke, and it's the person who put her on this space flight. They're also the one giving this quote right now. Like, they hate her.
What has Katy Perry done to deserve this kind of fall from grace?
It's honestly like one for the books, dude.
It is.
Like,
it's insane.
She had the most number of like songs from an album that were like at number 1 or whatever. Like, broke that record at one time, and then now we're here in the flop era, which the flop era has lasted about 10 years, I would say.
The woman has become an astronaut, and we still don't want to hear her speak.
And we still are not impressed. Like, she thought she released a song with a predator, and nobody liked it.
To stop.
Yeah.
She, like, if I were in charge of her career, she's got to go on a vacation and cancel the tour.
Yeah, this is going to ruin the tour.
She needs to address the fact that she's messed up and be like, I'm going to take some time to figure out how I can grow from this, and I'll respect her. But what is she doing? She went to space. But, like, what do you think of yourself that, like, you think you can put out an album like 143 and tour that album and have the Taylor Swift crowd there? Who do you think you are?
I really don't know where she would even, like, come up with that in the depths of her brain.
No.
That was going to be the outcome. Probably because that same PR person told her that it would be.
Literally.
Who was like, you know, it would be a really good song. I think we should call it Woman's World, and I'm going to schedule a session with Dr. Luke right now. It's going to be a hit. Did you see Justin Bieber with Sexy Red?
Yeah. I didn't think it was much of anything. I mean, he had that smile about him.
Yeah.
You know the one. Yeah. You know the smile.
He was real happy to be out.
Yeah.
He was like, Dad's got a night out, and here we go. I didn't think people were like making a big thing about like him kissing Sexy Red, but it just seemed like in my opinion,
like a good to see you.
Like good to see you. Like, we're friends and like we're out and like it's your birthday. Like, woo, you know.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like anything, but I just do feel that if I was Hailey, I would be pissed though. Not at him kissing her like that, but just like, I would be so pissed just being at home with the baby and him getting to go live his life and have fun out there. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah, no, I get that. There was a post he made where it was like Hailey Bieber standing there talking to someone, and there were 3 photos of her, And, like, obviously Hailey Bieber's not fat, right? But, like, she didn't look perfectly postured like she normally presents herself on Instagram. Like, she's very tall and lanky looking in a good way. But in the photo, she's kind of like, she's got, like, a belly, like, her belly's, like, round.
Oh, yeah.
Her hips were kind of looking like she might have had a baby. Like, and I don't mean this negatively. Like, she looked good. Like, her arms looked a little thicker. Like, she just looked like she put on weight.
It was because she had ovarian cysts.
Okay.
And she decided to make a post about that. And I'm like, that's a little, like, wanting people to feel sorry for you or feel bad for you during this time where the whole internet hates you. Because ovarian cysts, while they can, you know, you can, like, look into them and find that they might be cancerous or whatever. It's like ovarian cysts as a thing is, like, actually kind of normal. Like, it's like a very common thing. So it's like just being like, I have ovarian cysts, I'm really bloated. Like,
my thought was she posted it while wearing the same outfit as the day that Justin posted that picture of her. And, like, if I were Hailey Bieber, would I have wanted Justin to post those photos of me whenever the whole world is watching everything that he does with a microscope? No, because, like, she doesn't look like herself.
I don't know why they can't get on the same page with social media.
I know. And, like, I honestly felt like she posted that to try to explain why she looked not as thin in those photographs, even though she didn't look bad, but, like, she did look heavier. But it's like, because she's standing there talking and, like, being a normal person and not posed for Instagram. And I feel like she posted that wearing the same exact outfit Justin had posted her in. And it was, like, a couple days after he had posted it that she was like, ovarian cysts. Like, I just feel like she posted that to try to explain why she looked bloated and to keep people from talking about her weight. And I know that we're talking about her weight. And I'm really not trying to do it in a way that it's like I think she looked bad or anything like that. But it's like, that's
really,
what I think.
it's more that she just looked like a normal person. Like, instead of, we see her, like, in these perfectly posed, like, she models, she does all this. So, you know, she's like in our minds, she's physically, like, perfect, you know? And in these pictures, she just looked more like a normal person, an average person standing there talking.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's nice to see photos of her like that because, like, she's the it girl that you, like, compare yourself to. And, like, Justin probably didn't look at that and think that she looked bad, but she was probably like, when your ex is Selena Gomez, you better not post no photos of me like that.
And when you're used to having only pictures where you look pristine and perfect, you know, go up, then a picture like that could, like, you're your own worst critic. So I'm sure she saw those and, like, picked herself apart, you know? Like, I feel like people get what we're trying to say.
Yeah, but the way that Justin Bieber posts on Instagram isn't healthy. Like, that alone, something's going on. Why is it that whenever you search someone's name on Instagram and, like, Justin Bieber pops up, why is it that when I search Justin Bieber and go to click on his name, it says 9 new posts? 9.
Yeah.
I got it on the grid, on the feed.
He's posting kind of like
Britney Spears.
Kind of, but I was thinking more like more boomers on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like where they post every picture, they don't choose one, you know?
There's also, like, these unspoken rules on Instagram where, like, you're not supposed to post on the grid, like, all the time. And, like, Justin Bieber doesn't live by that. And it's like, we have these imaginary rules that we just make up, that we follow. And, like, Justin Bieber just breaks them so we think he's on crack.
True. But he did, like, those pictures of Hailey that he posted that we've been talking about this whole time. It's like he posted 9 pictures and they all are like the same picture, but it's like he couldn't just pick one variation of said picture. He had to post all 9.
He literally posted 3 of her hands going.
Yeah,
like
it's like stop motion.
Yeah. He's on crack. All right, one more short little story. So Mr. Beast in Vegas is bad. They sold a 3-day experience at Resorts World in Vegas, and multiple TikTokers are reporting that there is no experience. It's just a gift bag. And Trisha and Oscar were comparing it to TanaCon, And they were like, well, Michael Weiss is trying to make a comeback. That's the guy from the Segway.
From the Segway, yeah.
From TanaCon. But I looked into an article that they came out with in January about it before it all went bad. The tickets were $1,000. And for the $1,000, I think you got a room and a gift bag. And all the bags had limited edition merch. But the real experience might have been that you were supposed to get one lucky bag because one of them had a $10,000 voucher in it. But they did say in the article in January that the Hollywood Reporter said the Mr. Beast experience will offer on-site activations and immersive experiences across the Resorts World property and in some of its restaurants. But the bags, the merch that was inside of them was apparently like on Mr. Beast's website, like for like $20. So like if you didn't win the $10,000, you just got screwed because there were no experiences happening either.
Dang.
But Mr. Beast was like, I didn't have anything to do with this. It
wasn't.
It was him, but like it was on behalf of the company that like put it together. He was like, they were supposed to put it together and they just didn't. And I think that's why he does everything in-house for himself because he's like, you can't trust people to use your name and do it right.
Yeah.
I don't see this as that big of a deal.
I don't think it's a big deal.
Because someone won $10,000.
I don't think it's a big deal. I think that he could have maybe taken a little more accountability because it does have his name on it. And like people expect, he set this certain caliber, right? Like people expect when Mr. Beast's name is on something, it's going to be extravagant and crazy.
Oh, he offered to the people that complained or like weren't satisfied with it or whatever. He's flying them all out to North Carolina to tour his studio, which I feel like is better.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I take that back.
He should have just done that in the beginning.
So I feel like he did make it right with the people who were unhappy then.
I think he was kind of like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have done that. And then he's like, y'all could just come to the studio. And like, he was just real like.
Anyways, want to see the studio?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So what's new with you, Jill?
I rode up to work this morning on a flat tire, apparently.
Do you think it was flat before you got there?
See, I don't know. I really don't know. Because I've never had a flat tire before. I've never drove on a flat tire. I was in work and they came up. For people who don't know, I work in a car dealership. I'm not a car salesman, but I work in a car dealership. So people from service came up and they were like, did you know your tire's flat? And I'm like, no. And I go look, expecting it to just need a little bit of air put in the tire. And this thing, flat, like pancake. This thing looks like a pancake. And I'm like, there's no way I drove here on that. Because they're all crashing on me. And they're like, how did you drive here?
It would have been bad.
Yeah.
You would have noticed.
They're all crashing on me like, how did you drive here on that and not know? And I'm like, no, but I swear it happened. Like, I swear it went flat after I got here or something. Because I would have known if I didn't have, like, I would have been riding on the rim. Like, it was so flat. So, anyways, I had to get 2 new tires unexpectedly, which is so fun as an adult, you know, like.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. But it's all better now. I got my oil changed. I got an inspection. I got 2 new tires.
Woo.
It's like she's a new girl in my car. But other than that, I mean, not really anything. My arm is healing from my wasp sting. We're done with the roid rage.
I was cracking up. I was playing back the episode last week, and you were just talking. You were like,
I was scratching. Yeah,
I could not stop laughing. You were like subtly like, yeah, blah, 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 and you were like scratching your arm so intense. It was so, and like, if you really paid attention to the episode, like your arm is so red.
It is. It looks like I have a bad sunburn.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But yeah, really, that's like it. Just life knocking me down some more, having to unexpectedly pay for some more tires. What about you?
I'm not going to say what our topic is, but I've been in a research hole with a certain pop girl.
I love it so much.
I love it, like, too much. Like, I was glad that we recorded late tonight because I sat in there and I got all of it completely done. But, I mean, I thought I was almost done. And then I was like, well, I could put this in there and put this in there. Like, I just know so much stupid information. I finally have a place for it to go. But, like, I can't wait to record that tomorrow because I just, like, love the deep dive topics that were, like, it's not like the deep dives we've done in the past.
Yeah, it's not like a deep dive on one specific person. It's like
there's a
cool
topic.
ideas. Cool ideas.
Like, I feel like we're making YouTube videos like in 2015. Like, we have like a topic that we're gonna like discuss and have like bullet points to break down, whereas like these hot topic episodes are fun and like I like them, but like there's something about like talking about things that you really care about, and I know that there's stupid things
and
in the
things
grand
that
scheme,
we've been doing, like the last deep dive that I researched that we did, and then this one, it's like I feel like they're things that we consume. Like they're types of videos that we watch ourselves.
They're
which is
domino into each other too. Like they flow into each other almost like a series. And it reminds me of like the Swiftologists, like their YouTube channel and like Evolution of Snake podcast. Like I love the concept of their podcast because I kind of feel like it's the same like niche of like topics and things like that, where like we could discuss like anything pop girl or like internet culture wise, and like we know a lot about it, and like you would think that we would run out of topics, but when I think about it, I'm like,
there's so much that we can do,
and this has been our whole life.
Yeah, I mean, at work the other day they were saying something, I don't remember what I didn't know, but I didn't know something that they all knew, and they were laughing about it, and they were like, but I bet you can tell us anything about Trisha Paytas, and I was like, yeah, because I literally was a little girl with her Dell laptop sitting on her bed in 2008 watching YouTube videos before you could even stream it on TV or anything. Like, that's what I've always done. But I love doing, like, you talking about, like, sitting there doing all the research. It's so fun because you get in these Reddit threads and you're, like, going down these rabbit holes, and then you find a name of somebody that you've never heard of before, and you're like, who is this? Then you're going down a rabbit hole of that person, and, like, it's so fun. I feel like a hacker.
I had so much information that I started a second topic out of it. And honestly, I'm considering in my free time just working on the next topic and like just keep building up these scripts, because it's like, in a way, it's therapeutic. Like, I haven't been to school in so long, and I feel like
it feels like research paper. I swear,
it feels like a research paper about something that is everything in your being. Like, this is everything that I care about. Like, when I've been like listening to like deep dives into this girl that we're talking about, I've been listening to like looking back on like documentaries that she's made and hearing other people's opinions, and then like when I'm walking, I'm listening to her old music. Like, I'm really like thinking about what she's saying. Like, I'm like, oh my God, this is so much. Like, it consumes my life in the best way.
Yes.
I would love to do one of these once a month.
Me too. I really like them. I think they're really interesting and like fun, and I think the people listening and watching would like them too. So
yeah, like I think we thought that like our deep dives on people were gonna be like, I mean, they still could like get like catch on or whatever and like bring in some new audiences, but I feel like this stuff is a lot more niche about a specific thing, and I feel like if you get it, you're gonna get it, and you're gonna love it if you find it.
Yes.
So
because I would.
Yeah. But yeah, we should stop.
Yeah, we've been going a while. It's late at night. We have recorded later than we typically do today, you guys. So
you got to do it when you're tired.
Yeah.
You do it when you don't want to.
Treat it like a job, even before it's 1, you know? Like,
yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's the saying.
Even before it's 1.
I'm asleep with my eyes open right now. So you guys remember, if you want to see Shane Dawson do jail time because he's a PDF file, click the subscribe button.
Yeah, make sure to rate us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and we'll see you next Monday with a new episode.
TTYL.
Bye.